The worst thing that our people have ever done is the down ballot vote. So yeah, the FBI just ran up on him and locked him up for embezzling money. I was
Yeah,
just something about that.
and bribery too.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's what it was. That $100,000 bribery. But after he got that money, he got elected into whatever office there was. So they
Yeah.
stopped it before it started. They're
Hmm.
playing a whole long game between the tech companies and the Democratic Party. We have no burden each. We have no burden in this fight unless offer something. But blatantly, the Democratic Party is playing on our intelligence and all of the above. I say I'd rather have an honest enemy than a fake friend and somebody that's gonna write legislation against my grandchildren. Black power.
Mm-hmm. How about that? That's why I always say, don't take nothing. Don't take nothing. You know what I mean? There ain't no gifts out here, no such thing. I only seen one in my lifetime. So, and I
The
mean,
the big the biggest thing, see, and that's the thing. You got folk like Steve Harvey telling black folk vote and maybe next time you will get something. The biggest thing black folk can do, if not offered a minimum of a hate crime bill, is abstain from voting. That is sending a message to both parties. Voting is just saying that's rewarding bad behavior. What
how
happens what happens when you it's all good, but yeah, you don't reward bad behavior and just giving your vote based on color or based on feelings or based on a sex like male or female. Yeah, that's rewarding bad behavior. Like this woman went on TV and literally said she wasn't going to do anything specifically for black people. Turn around and do something specifically for Asians, specifically
Mhm.
for Middle Easterners, and specifically for LGBTQ and immigrants, illegal immigrants. So make that make sense. So we have no dog in this fight unless offer anything. The best thing black folk can do is arm themselves, get supplies up, plus start a Gordon abstain from voting. Black power. But since you brought up the food, it
Mhm.
kind of makes sense now. She said that she would just take patents from people. Okay,
Take
so
what?
if you patents, if you invent something and it's lucrative, she says she'll take patents. Like this is part of the socialist communist program that she's throwing out there. If you ever took in a social studies or civics class and paid attention,
Yeah.
everything that her VP is saying is socialist communist. Like seriously, she wants
Oh,
to
yeah.
put a cap on food. She wants to put a cap on how much a person can make. And yeah, bro. So the issue with that is under communism, if it costs you $10 to make something, and the state told you to sell it for $8, you have to sell it for $8 or go to jail. So that's what she wants to bring in. That's going to kill capitalism. That's going to put people in the street. Along with September 18th, the judge who wants to sentence Trump to a year, who also donated to some Democratic man. Look, it's a
Mm.
cluster. It's a
Damn.
cluster screw. The judge
Yeah.
that's going to try to arrest Trump before the election
Huh.
is on record donating to Democratic, the DNC and all that stuff, man. So
Right.
yeah, ain't no dog in this fight, but it seems like regardless of what's going to go on, either it's
Mhm.
going to be World War III or something like a revolutionary skirmish here in the U.S. within the next year. Black
Mm.
power.
And then, you
You
know,
need to buy you need to buy heirloom seeds, vegetables, and fruit before those become illegal or unattainable.
hmm heirloom. Okay. Yeah. 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 Well, I know one thing. We grew up doing that, so we we're gonna have to go back to our roots. You know. KD. Yes, indeed. Black Power, brother. What's happening?
Black power, brother, black
Hey,
power always. What's going
first
on
thing
with the
you do with you is
family?
get that microphone up.
Can you
I
hear me?
figured out how to do it yesterday.
Can you hear me?
Um, okay, that's better. Yes, sir. Go for it. Go ahead.
Black power, brothers and sisters. North Carolina Department of the new Black Panther Party in the House, trying to make sure that we are representing for the people. It's always about the people because we always bringing black love and black unity in what this house, because this house belongs to us as the people. And the number
Mhm.
one thing we must do is, I always speak it, is unify as a people. So, I was just got off one meeting, a great Zoom meeting with the brothers and sisters, and listening to all the great adventurous training and stuff that we do as a Panthers and our affiliates and our brothers and sisters, and we're most definitely appreciative of their most definitely appreciative of their combat skills and love and unity what they're bringing into our foes. And tonight, I know tonight's going to be a great night for us, the listeners out there who's listening in on us, because the last thing I was talking about the other day was with my wife. Me and my wife, we was talking about two main things, and then one of the main things is obtaining land. We must obtain land for our people, and because hey, it's a the revolution won't be televised, and we most definitely better have ourselves together with our farmlands and everything because it's going to be scarce out here real soon, and we all know this. Um, I was just thinking about all the great things that we can do together, and being in a unit and loving each other is the number one thing because you can't get no higher than and knowledge is love. And when we got that love amongst each other, man, we can do everything. I mean, anything like the ancestors had already sent down for us to know. So, with that being said, brother, I just want to say Black Power, and Black Power on Black Power
Yeah.
because I ain't no feeling like the feelings that I get when I'm around my brothers and sisters who are out here doing the work, putting in the work for us to have a nation of our own. And that nation is coming real soon, sooner than anyone could even imagine. Because one thing about the opposition, they know that our ancestors is here with us, and we're not backing down for nothing. We out here to do the work. We're fearless, and we're doing this just for one cause, and that's liberation, Black Power. What Africa is doing. The brothers and sisters over there with the red, black, and green in Africa who are doing a great job, especially those countries like Burkina Faso, Niger, and it was one more of our brothers and sisters over there, the countries that are coming together in the same Sunhai region that are unifying and being one block. And that right there within itself just shows Pan Africanism is coming together like Revelations had sparked it to be. And that's one thing that we must understand, that God is real, Elohim is the greatest, and when you put in that type of energy within anything, just know that it's going to come out with us victorious. And I know that within my heart, and I say that with authority. Black Power.
Hmm. And
We out here in the field, brother. We getting some new recruits all around through the all through North Carolina. They coming from everywhere, from Wilmington to Asheville.
mm,
Yeah,
wow.
it's a
That's
big
great.
it's a big thing going on with Black love and Black unity down here in North Carolina,
Mm, hmm.
and I'm relishing in that great time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just just keep moving forward. That's all we can do, you know.
That's all we can do.
You know.
Keep moving forward.
Sometimes I get tired and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to come in today. I want to go ride my bike and do my night patrols. But then I think about it. I said, wait a minute. Akbar had been diligent all these years, always Black Power Radio, Sunday and Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right there, you know? So he must have a lot of confidence in us to say, y'all go ahead and handle it. I'll be there when I get there. I was like, what? I was like, when you want to cuss, you start stuttering. He said, so just say boom shakalaka cracker. It's like,
Ain't no different than China. Ain't no different than Russia. Ain't no different than all these little Australia, Germany, all these little countries who calling themselves one nation. Well, we have a black nation, and that black nation is coming in from the four corners of the earth.
mm-hmm.
And you better say it.
Yes, indeed. That's
That's
right.
more than black power. That's black infinite power.
Yeah,
Oh,
infinite.
I can think back on so many things that when even seeing some of the brothers being incarcerated behind those enemy lines, and when we are sitting back and we knowing that they are prisoners of war, and what can we do to combat and go and get our brothers and sisters out? We're gonna have to work strategically together against a hateful system that has relegated black people to channel still and during this time we still considered as slaves. It might not be said on paper because they're 13th Amendment, but we know the truth behind that 13th Amendment. When you say you become incarcerated, you're still considered, you can be used for servitude. And man, this is one of the most vicious things that if when you don't have the knowledge and understanding of what's been done to us, man, hey, man, it's a serious thing. And it's been a tradition for white folks to keep us keep their foot on our necks like George Floyd, and the violence and the systematic oppression that they've been giving us throughout time, man, is just too much for any black person to handle with any consciousness. And when you have the conscious that you know, have the conscious mind and the conscious love for your people, man, you got to get out there and get your hands dirty, man, because man, it's obvious, man, these people are going to continue to put their knee on our necks if we don't go out and do the righteous thing in order to combat this racist system. Man, this goddamn racist system, man, it's getting ready to be over with. We don't even have to, and I apologize for the language, but sometimes it just gets me to the point where I have the knowledge and the understanding of it, and our people just won't come together because I mean they coming together. Don't get me wrong, brother. We are coming together. It's just they won't come together instantaneously because of the situation and the unawareness of their minds and not understanding what's been going on because they are so entranced with a system that have made them ignorant, and they relish in their ignorance. So a lot of them keep on thinking that we don't have the knowledge of certain things, but we have the knowledge of the ones who's truly behind this. I'm just thankful to have brothers on my team and a full staff of brothers that's around me to help me understand some of the things that I may not understand and help enlightening me on different levels and vice versa because on the top.
I just brought up that 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude in the United States except as a punishment for crime. It was passed in Congress on January 31st, 1865, and ratified on December 6th, 1865, freeing 4 million slaves. The amendment states the Congress shall have power to enforce the article by appropriate legislation. I hit a good part. The process of passing the 13th Amendment began in 1863 when House Republican James Ashley of Ohio introduced an amendment to ban slavery, a loophole, in other words. Says later that month, James Wilson of Ohio introduced another amendment with the same goal. In January 1865, Missouri Senator John Henderson submitted a joint resolution with a similar request. The Senate passed the amendment in April 1864, but it faced difficulties in the House of Representatives after months of debate and negotiations and President Lincoln's re-election. The House finally passed the amendment in January 1865. So the amendment needed to be ratified by two-thirds of the 36 states at the time, and northern states were quick to do so. Uh, Northern states were quick to do so. Southern states were more reluctant because they wanted to keep us as full slaves. Yeah, the Southerners, they was reluctant, but eventually joined in with Georgia, becoming the 27th state to ratify the amendment. Uh, some say the 13th Amendment is one of the most important constitutional amendments outside of the Bill of Rights. It allowed for Reconstruction Reconstruction to take place after legally abolishing slavery, which has been practiced since the country's founding. Since the country's founding. Wow. Wait a minute. Did I?
out of their bloodlines, that's also what the immigrant class is being used for. Not just cannon fodder in case it jumps off between the races, but also to repopulate the white race here in America. And I yield on that.
Mm-hmm.
Great replacement theory that white folk started pushing when Trump was first in office. You know, the replacement theory is about immigrants replacing them and taking their jobs and stuff. But if you notice, they are the ones that are bedding and having babies with these illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're the ones that are hiring these maids and impregnating these maids and having offspring with these maids, with
Yeah.
these.
I keep
Hold
seeing
on,
it. Like Slaughter Bride.
exactly. So it's not just about having a buffer between white folk and black folk because stuff's like it's going to hit the fan. It's also about replenishing their population because 2, 3 generations from now, it won't be no Asian, no Hispanic, no Middle Eastern, and none of these folk if they keep making the most white folk.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to get that black blood out of a person once it's in them.
Oh,
Somewhere down the line is going to be lips. Somewhere down the line is going to be noses.
yep.
So I'm looking at it like this. It is a bigger play to this than what's being presented to us in our face. That's all. Black power.
I mean, how you take a?
The weight raised by using the Hispanics, the Asians, and the Pacific Islanders that are light skinned. You get the genetics out of them, and then you make the genetics out of them with another white person, and so on and so on and so on. And now you got a genetically stronger white person. Now, I agree 100% with the brother. Another thing is, check dig this. I hate to bring politics back into this, but
No,
at this DNC convention, they have buses outside offering abortions and vasectomies outside. So when I tell you it is a worldwide thing, not against brown people or black so for say, but specifically against African Americans. Okay? Because everybody else bends the knee. Everybody else kiss the boots. We don't kiss the boots. We don't bend
not
the
at
knee.
all.
We fight.
That's right.
That's why the delineation movement I keep talking about. Look, I used to be all for Pan African. I'm not against it right now. But you have to sit back and look at the last 40 years. Ain't that been one way? They put their white Catholic God before anything. They kiss the ring of the Pope, bruh. Like we have to understand that we are a unique people on earth and we are hated worldwide because everyone else assimilates. We don't. We set trends.
That's
So
right.
the genetic annihilation that they're facing, that's part of the reason why these immigrants they finna be knocking Consuela up. They finna be knocking little Ming Lee up, and then Ming Lee's offspring is gonna mate with a white person, which is gonna pop out a white baby.
Right.
One Negro seed in one of them is gonna take about 3 or 4 generations to get that Negro out of them,
Mm.
versus 1 or 2. So the brother right. They are dying naturally. We're dying unnatural. When you have videos coming out of Klansmen and old police, these videos like they may have been made in the late 90s because you could tell of the quality. And they're saying, "Oh yeah, those crates y'all used to find in y'all neighborhoods with guns and stuff. Yeah, we dropped them there. We just sit back and just watch the news and see who were killed and how many people would die and this, that, and this and that. These videos are coming out. We have no allies. And the
We have
biggest problem is, right now, dealing with politics. This gender war that was started, this gender war that black men are facing in this dating world, in this relationship world with black women, was started about 3 years ago by two gay white men. Literally, once again, like we're dealing with outside forces trying to corrupt and break us apart. Because at one point, black men and black women were getting closer. Black women were getting on the program with black men. They were doing more negotiating than bickering towards each other. Now there's more bickering. We have to pay attention to it. But in offering our women all of these rights, as far as killing off the children, like if a woman life is in danger, she deserves to have the health care that she needs, including if they have to get rid of the seed. Man, I'm not against that. But if they're going to have their right to terminate the seed whenever they want to, a man needs to have the right to mandatory DNA testing at birth, regardless if he's married or not. And when I bring that up, a lot of feminists get mad. Brothers, be careful, protect your seed because the war against black men is being waged through our women as well. And I'm going to yield right there because I don't want to go too deep into that. I
Black
love my
power.
black women, black power.
Black power, brother. You and I, I want to keep piggybacking off that brother because that brother he makes tremendous amount of sense about that. And since the nation of the so-called United States of America was formed in 1776, white people have controlled the lives and reproduction of black people. We got to understand that their genocidal approach against us as indigenous people and chattel slavery of us Africans and our descendants. It's been a so persecuted and criminalized and this mass incarceration of us as black men and women, and that's the most prominent example of what we have to face under this chattel slavery system, especially our black women and the daughters that were bred like animals for the purpose of economic dominance. We got to understand this stuff, brother. The financial benefits and the dividends of all the stuff they have made off our sisters doing the slave breeding up under that racist 13th Amendment. We got to understand, and I remember one of I can't remember the sister name, but I think the sister name was Pamela Bridgewater. And she described all the practices that consist of the sexual dominance and the reproduction of exploitation against our people. And it was designed and to facilitate an economic base for this deplorable system. And the war on us when it came to the war on drugs and the tough things on crimes, laws, almost made long-lasting devastation in our community, brothers. We got to understand this as being black men and black women, and look at our children being shot down in communities behind these racist race soldiers. But the most significant loss is doing when it's dealing with when they have uh, I want to say the number one thing in our community that's the worst is abortion. That's primarily what's killing us today is abortion. We got to put a stop to that. Just imagine all the children that's been lost to a wicked system that kills children up under their laws. Even like the legalization of this marijuana, the white man, he legalized marijuana today, but back in the days when our brothers and sisters get caught with a little bit of weed, they go to jail. And this is what's happening to us, brothers. Incarcerating us at a higher rate than white people for the same offenses. And many of these
Right.
cases, in many of these cases, we serve longer sentences. And I'm proof to that. We got
Mm-hmm.
to understand this is war on us, brothers and sisters. And eugenics proved that this is the new eugenics. You got to understand this. The hyper incarceration of human abetment. That's what I call it. You got to understand this system, and a lot of our people don't understand the system. But once you get educated with the system and understanding what the system is doing to us on a social platform, man, and socially engineering us to be black faces with white minds, then we have to realize what's actually been done to us. And it's been done on the serious levels, man, that we got to come together. We have to unite. We have to do these things in order for us to combat all this stuff that's been going on against our people for the last 400 and almost 70 years. This is serious to me, brothers and sisters, because I am one of those brothers who have been through pretty much all the stuff that I talk about. I educated myself on it, and I came back to help educate the very people that look like me from being in a system that is a predatory system that feeds on black and brown bodies. And I land my plane on that with black power and making sure that we doing the righteous thing to make sure we combat this racist ass system. Black Power.
You need to go ahead and talk about that because that needs to be talked about.
Come
Just
on,
by
Piggy.
me, this man,
Yeah.
yeah, by me being a female, he need to be talked about. I got many brothers and cousins, and I'm so strong on that. He need to talk about. He need to be talked about. I'm
That's,
sorry.
that's good. We can do a round robin on it. But before I forget what Brother KD just said, Brother Werewolf just said it about like how our brothers and sisters have been going to jail for a little bitty, I mean, maybe a roach in the
Oh
ashtray.
yeah, I heard you. What you talking about? They just doing anything for a reason like you. They're just trying to make an example. Look, they doing some musical artists making an example out of them. Anyway, I always be tripping. I ain't get your tetanus, I don't need none of that. I don't need any stuff on a dirty nail, on a rusty nail. I don't need no COVID. I don't need none of that stuff. I'll tell you what's going on with me.
Hey, we surviving without it. What do you say, Brother KD? Black Power. Sorry, I heard you saying
Man,
something.
Black Power, the
Oh,
revolution won't be televised, sisters and brothers. Always know that. Now, piggybacking off of what the sister was saying, these white folks, they fight the police. They even shoot at the police, and
Mm.
they still be managing to
yep.
taking their white brothers in. The white police with the white uniform managed to take that white boy into
Yeah,
custody without shooting him. So we
without
gotta real
shooting.
understand without shooting them, sis. And you got to understand the self hatred when you being socially engineered in a system like United Snakes of America. When you've done been socially engineered into their system, your mind frame is pretty much based off what you perceive or what that white boy have taught you, and you want to be a part of his system from the self-hate that you have for yourself. So you will go out and you will do the work for your against your brothers and sisters with the mindset of going out and oppressing the very people that look like you. But to be realistic with you, brothers and sisters, I don't think that it's like that because the spirit of God is in the earth now. So black people have woken up and they understand what's going on. So they're not out oppressing their people, especially what's been done, what happened in Tennessee with the brother. I want to say, what is his name? Tariq something. When the brothers beat their own brother up and killed
I
him.
read Nichols.
Now, Tyree Nichols. Just think about that self hatred that they have displayed on the national level to make themselves look foolish of doing that to their own brother.
Hmm.
Just imagine the mindset of a black man beating his own brother like that. You have to be foolish to do that to your own kind now. Knowing with the knowledge of what's out here for our brothers and sisters to really know who they truly are. Because if you know who you truly are, you would never put that type of energy in trying to destroy your own people.
Hmm. You know it.
You got to
Mhm.
love your people, and we got to understand that this fight
Absolutely.
that we are in, is against good and evil, and the white folks have pervaded evil across the lands from a momented white man who has been giving us an education system that has never benefited black folks, and we have to
Thank you, brother.
realize this.
Hmm.
We must realize this
With that
because when
urine
you get
pen.
you got that European mindset when you get their education.
Boom.
So
They
we
out
got
here in
to
my ear. I just found out today my son principal got this European doctrine out here they giving to our kids, and I'm very upset. They say they want him up out of here, so I'm gonna try all my power. The first time I'm going into this thing, I'm gonna figure out what I gotta do. You know what I mean? To move this out the way and get what's right. Cause
Yep.
this ain't it.
we got to
Oh,
educate
we
our
got.
own people. We
Hmm.
must educate our
But it's
own
crazy
people.
though.
We must bring it back and make it all black.
There you
Must
go.
bring it
Right.
back and make it
Because
all
he
black.
goes to Martin Luther King Academy Junior School. That's a school called Martin Luther King Academy. And I did see on the board today, and I had took a video on class. It said at 11 o'clock, the MLK way. I want to know what's the MLK way. I'm excited to have saw that on the board, knowing that he's supposed to be a European, whatever principal. I'm kind of excited this year. They got something called the Dream Team. So, yes, I'm going to join that. I'm going to dream with them. I'm going to make sure we're going to dream for our kids, too, for all. It's all up, all races, all that's sport. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to just gather them up
Yes,
real quick
indeed.
and figure it out.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Since they let our kids learn about LGBT, we're gonna learn about the Black Power movement too.
Black
Mhm.
power.
And
All right.
Black power, and a strong black military to black our call today. We're asking all of the supporters of Black Power Radio to always buckle your seatbelts and sit back and enjoy the ride. We've got so much on the agenda, and we give you more of what you listen to radio for. And we always have something of substance and the most informative radio talk show on the internet. We're happy to see you all this evening at Black Power Radio. We hope that you will continue to support and build. We can build with Black Power Radio. And all of this network with all of our comrade brothers and sisters always know it is your God, your gun, and your comrade. You got to build with your God, your gun, and your comrades. And we build that up, then that's dignity, that's self-respect, that's honor in building amongst your comrades. And that comrade will not feel left out. That comrade will feel totally inclusive, and he will build. It's the kind of love that loves you black, and we love loving black as a favorite color. But then again, black is basic, and we return to our basics. We return to our nature. We return to our family value system, and build on our family value systems. And we need to abandon all forms of Mediterraneanism at this hour, meaning leave the Urals to what they do and build on who we are. We are in a win-win with our five aces. You know it ain't but four in the deck, but that's how much you have. That's how far ahead of the competition you are without totally realizing. He wants to suppress the fact that you built that goddamn folding chair. He don't want the world to know that nigga in the hood to say every nigga's a star. That same one singing every nigga's a star. That same nigga built that goddamn folding chair. It can use as a stool. You can sit down in relaxation, and you can take it as a weapon against your enemy and commence to banging him as he deserved to be banged. For the banging that you took for 400 years, that he deserved a taste, at least a taste of that banging, with him picking cotton in the field for free and banging that folding chair across his backside. That's our invention. Cotton gin, cotton machine, cotton picking. Get your cotton picking hands a certain way. All of that. What in the tar nation? What tar nation? The black nation. You just don't receive things in a way that is advantageous to you. Everything that the cracker did, Frederick Douglass put a spin on it and he would spin it back in our favor. You got to be clever to do that at this hour. Don't get into assimilation. Don't follow the white nation. Build from your building blocks. Build from your family value systems with an S. And then you'll be at the best, the strongest building blocks of any nation on this earth. Don't underestimate your ability to put these competitions on their backside, and never overestimate their ability to ever put you on your backside. I land my plane. I say black power, black power.
Black Power.
Hey, Black Power, that's astounding. Wow, 8,000. Man, that's 1,000 people every day. Good Lord. Oh, man. Give it 100 days. You got 100,000 people. And if they listening to this broadcast, going to get more than that because I'm trying to put it in the chat, but want to welcome Sister Ankh, Kaba Ankh and Akwet Kaba Ankh. And I know she don't have very much time because it got early days. So Black Power. And don't want to leave out Sister MOJ, Sister Truth Bait. But again, 196,940 pounds of the national chairman, the Sheikh Imam Akbar. Man, I love that intro. But let's bring it to Sister Quit first. Black Power. Black Power. Don't go nowhere, Sheikh Imam Akbar. I might have to leave and you got to hold it down now. I thank you for all the confidence of us holding it down, but don't nobody want to go on after you. Except maybe the Funkadelics. Black Power. Yes, indeed. How you doing tonight, Sister Quet?
Black Power. Took me a while because I had to, do some schoolwork. But the thing is that everybody's excited or whatever. I like the excitement, the inspiration, or whatever coming from the brothers and stuff in California. I'm out here in San Francisco myself, but to me, it's still crumbs. You know what I'm saying? They owe us so much more. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once you turn around and you sign that paperwork, the contract changes. And then they can turn around and say, hey, well, we did this for you. We did that for you, this and that. Once you sign it, they owe us way more than these nickels and dimes that they're giving us. They're doing this, okay, hit the election. They're doing this because they know that our vote counts so much. When has it not? They turn around and they kill us. Lynching still going on, and we're taking these nickels and dimes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, of course. Especially, it does sound good. You know what I'm saying? When you're out here working and, you got brothers and sisters don't know when the next meal is coming. You know what I'm saying? Or however, whatever. But we have to stay true when it comes to our ancestors and everything that they have gone through. You know what I'm saying? We want, talking about, worry about the land. The land is where the money is. Not that green dollar bill, because eventually that green dollar bill is not going to be worth anything. The dollar bill is depreciating as we speak. Where's the gold at? Where's the resources that were stolen? Where's the generational wealth that they have accumulated for their families that they stole from our families? And we're going to take nickels and dimes? No. The thing is, they need to keep their reparations and give us everything back that they stole. Everything. Make it right on this land. Everything. And that's the only way it's going to be right. Because by the time they even give us those nickels and dimes, because we live in this corporation, this capitalist society, they can go outside or they can go to the grocery store where you go get your eggs, because we don't have the land to have our own chickens so we can get our own eggs. They say, all right, a carton of eggs is $100,000 now. And they can do it. Look what they did during COVID, right? They said that, we're not going to raise the prices on anything. The prices skyrocketed. The prices is steadily skyrocketed, day in and day out. You see what I'm saying? They turn around, they do their gentrification, and the neighborhood that you grew up in, you can't even live in there anymore. They done took the house that your mama and daddy done worked their life for to buy, turned around and resold it for $1 million, turned around and turned it into, I'm just talking about what they was doing in D.C., turned the house into apartments, selling each apartment over close to $1 million. So they gave you $750,000, and they turned around and they made like $5 million. And then they want to give us nickels and crumbs, nickels and dimes. You see what I'm saying? Pennies. They owe us everything, and that means they cannot move these buildings on the land either. That's ours too. The world would not be what it is if it wasn't for our ancestors. If it wasn't, well, we are the original people here. You know what I'm saying? We weren't slaves over there in the motherland. No, it was kidnapping going on, raping going on, murdering going on. How do you put a price on that? They don't have, look, we need all that money, every last dime. And we need the money that they have, that their family is still getting their generational wealth. So any amount of money with that mean dollar green that a brother and sister want to kill themselves for, to get that satisfaction from that troglodyte, we need not to accept. We need everything. And we need our schools back. We need our original church back, away from the Vatican. We need our brothers and sisters out of incarceration. See, we need all of that. All that. You talking about reparations. Reparations is not just about finance. Reparations is about redemption. We need redemption. We need everything back that you have crossed us out, that our ancestors had to jump off a ship and drown themselves in the ocean to get away from you because they was determined not to be a slave in your capitalist society.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
That's how I feel about it.
Yo,
There's
Desiree.
nothing wrong with brothers and sisters pushing anything. But if you're gonna push it, tell them to give us every dime. I mean every drop. That means I want the children out on this speech. I want Gucci, I want Chanel, I want all of it. I want the stock market.
You got me to mind, brother, because it's
Melanin on the stock market. And how does melanin get on the stock market? You know why? Because they transporting organs and they let you know they doing it. So that means they still killing brothers and sisters every day. I bet you every 3 seconds, like the statistics go, there's a brother and sister getting killed right now. While we on this thing, we can't get to them. They got them somewhere behind a building somewhere. Like they used to take our children and do research and stuff on them in the basements when they're walking home from school. I got articles to back it up. Okay?
I'm glad you said that.
We want everything. Everything.
I'm glad you said that. I just that hopefully we have some men start walking to with our kids and watching them go to school this year and know what's going on. You know, we hope our men just really stand up and watch out for these kids coming home for these perverts. I'm glad you said that. I shade double our hand was up though.
and then
That's
we
right. And they
also
turn around and them houses and stuff. I'm gonna tell you about what happened, what's going on in Detroit. The children are walking home from school and getting pulled in them abandoned houses. That's why the brothers and sisters out there fighting for them to tear down them houses. They won't tear it down. You know why? Because
they want to burn them
their
down.
system is providing them with drugs to keep them like that. They knew the man was raping women in the house and didn't do nothing about it. Raping women and children right there in Detroit, Michigan.
They need to burn that down.
Right here in San Francisco, when I walk outside the door to go to work, you see people walking around here bent all over, can't even stand up on fentanyl. Where you think they're getting the fentanyl from? Fentanyl don't come from the average drug dealer.
I told you. You cannot walk around out there like that, Desiree. I told you it's different out here.
You know what I'm saying? It does not. And you have to also understand that even when they talk about our big time drug dealers or whatever, them jokers bring drugs in this country all the time. They bring it on the naval ships. They bring it through the military. They bring it through their grocery store chains. You see what they I've seen other brothers and sisters, they have those inorganics. We cannot be effective as a people.
Yeah.
We have others that are in our organization because that will take you off the straight and narrow. So now you can't even think straight or do because you considering someone else's feelings. The only feelings you need to be considering is the feelings of your brothers and sisters, melanated brothers and sisters that are originally from what? The motherland.
There you go. That's trying to come up. I am unmuted.
I want to say to you that be encouraged no matter what's going on, and know that you're in the right place at the right time, and know that Black Power is a lifestyle. They can't live our lifestyle. I think Lil Boosie put it best. So, here to live my whole lifestyle. And you have to go into your family value systems and bring out something and give it to those that need it. Serve our people. Be known for service to meet the needs of we the people. And you'll find you're in a win-win, 100% win-win all the time. I'll land my plane and take it away, y'all.
Nothing but the truth, babe. Black Power.
Black power, family. Okay, I can hear and see you. It's good to see some of y'all on here continuing to fight for reparations. One of the main things that we want to also be aware of is land. Land is very important as part of the reparations package. So, as Double R mentioned before, Senate 1050, which is the racially motivated eminent domain to be returned back to descendants of slaves. But what's most important is to actually get identified land all throughout the state of California. Since this is a California Senate bill, it's important that we have California land accounted. All right, so in the chat, I put a petition in and where we're asking for House Resolution Bill 194, which is the apology for chattel slavery, to be administered. House Resolution 194 is a clear apology from the United States in what it has done concerning not only the inception of chattel slavery from 1619 to 1865, but Jim Crow, the effects of tarnishing slave catchers. And this is 17 lines of whereases. And what that means is that each line, it states the historical abuse that they did for African Americans. That's the title that we are being addressed. It's not something that we have given ourselves. African American is what they recognize us as federally. So while we work on the California side, reparations again is a federal issue. So ultimately, the hands of the presidential candidate, the US federal government, has to have complete closure when it comes to ultimate reparations. But the steps in each state is just as vitally important. So which why we have to educate our families on knowing what reparations is. We still have a lot of our young people that still have no clue, or just our people in general that still don't have a clue on the importance of reparations. They honestly have been hearing it, but the process of actually getting it, that's something that a lot of people are still unaware of. So we got to consistently reach out, do outreach and engagement, have town halls. Any event that we do has to involve with reparations education. So the petition, if you have not signed it yet, please share and sign. Share. The House resolution bill is something that's already there. We don't have to reinvent the reasons, or we don't have to do any more studies as to why reparations is owed to us. And because it has been written beautifully since 2008, then it is something that we need to follow through. Secondly, as we mentioned before, land is very important when it comes to reparations. Identifying the acres of land, the abandoned buildings, the abandoned lots, the county owned, the state owned, the city owned properties, all of this is our land. And if we don't actively seek, request, or make a list of available properties, it's going to be harder for us to say, well, this is the properties that we want as part of our 60 acres. 40 acres is nice, but they need to add another 20 for good measure. And these are the things that we need to push forward as far as getting closure for reparations. Now, September 10th, coming up, is the actual first debate of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And it's important to understand that if you're not going to be involved in the voting process, which we highly recommend that you don't if need be, but if you do get involved, or at least have the knowledge of what the policies are. Policy is very important when it comes to asking or giving our vote. Tired of voting blue no matter who? If you're voting independent, that's another thing, but we have constantly for the last 40, 50, 60 years, since the Civil Rights Act, have been given our votes for free. We don't ask questions. We just say, hey, I don't want to vote for the Republican, or I don't want to vote for these devils, so I'm going to vote for the blackface devil that's been keeping my neighborhood a high rate of violence, influx of guns and drugs, poor living conditions, compromised educational institutions, and yet we still get nowhere. It's important that we understand the basic policy traits. Now, this lady, Kamala Harris, that has been Indian since the beginning of time, has changed her status to black to win over the voters. And unfortunately, you do have a lot of people that still sleep, that feel that they want to vote anything else other than the other. And when you look at it, the economic policy that she put out as far as tax credits, when you look at the policy, she's stating that she's going to give housing tax credit, not to the homeowners, not to the first-time home buyers, but to the builders of the homes. So that, in essence, is still giving tax credit to the corporations, to the rich, to the multi-million-dollar construction companies that are going to be developing homes. So if we're not really careful with pinpointing or taking apart the policies that this lady is so-called now saying, if you vote for me on day one, I will do this. But the thing is, your day one was 365 days ago. Your day one was 3.5 years ago. Why can't you do these things that you claim that you want to do for the people now? You're in the White House now. But again, if we're not in tune with politics, then we're going to have our family members, our neighbors, our people who we love very much to fall into this trap. So if we're not going to be self-determined, which would be the most ideal thing to do, is to have our own governance. But because, again, we're not there at the political table understanding the importance of politics. We can't be reciting rhetoric from the mainstream media. You have to open your eyes and your ears and research. It's very important, family, that you research the policies that have been put forth for our people. And if we know that these policies don't exist or has not exist, we cannot continue to drink the Kool-Aid. Now, what if Kamala Harris doesn't win, right? What do we do then? Do we still ignore the fact that we are going to have a leader of the United States? Inevitable, that seat has to be filled. I would prefer to vote for you as president. You as president. You to run the country. Right in your name. Why not? That's what self-determination is. And we cannot be hypocritical on how we're moving as well. Reparations is not just land and money. Reparation is healing. Reparation is treating each other differently, where we can actually grow and build with each other. Because what if we do all get our reparations payment? Are we still going to work in silos? Are we still not going to communicate with our brothers and sisters off key? If you are a leader, it is your duty to break down the walls and respect your black women. Respect the black woman. You must respect the black woman. The black woman is the mother of the nation. When you lift up the women, you lift up the nation. It's very simple. It's not just saying it, it's actually doing it. And I feel that, me being from California, unfortunately, it is a liberal state. It is what it is, but it's not black power encrusted. It is Hollyweird encrusted. It is phony encrusted. It is Two-Face encrusted. We just come off with a very powerful meeting with our Army General, Crazy Horse, and I will give a shout out to this brother, because the last training last week, I wanted to be there more than anything. But there are responsibilities that we have to do. And as a policy analyst, I wear it proudly. I wear it proudly. It's not something that I trained to do. It's not something I even thought would even be a career. It is something that had to fall in because I felt that our people were not getting 100% representation from these politicians. Tell me one politician, whether they're a governor, whether they're a city mayor, whether they're a county board of supervisor, whether they're a U.S. senator, whether they're a House of Representative, whether they're a state senator, or whether they're a state assembly person that can give 100% to Black people. Now, I can say Senator Stephen Bradford has been an exception to that he has been fighting for these bills vigorously. And that's one of the great things that needs to be an example for other states, is to have that politician to really focus on Black bills to represent descendants of slaves. But to run nationwide, we're still missing 49 states that has a politician that represent their interest 100%, which is why self-determination is not something, is an option that we can get off the table. It is something that has to happen. The Olympics is coming to LA in 2028, so they're going to be preparing the next 4 years to really clean house. So who are they going to clean house? What are our neighborhoods going to be affected? It is the Black neighborhoods. The Democratic National Convention is happening as we speak in Detroit. There's going to be a plethora of protests. I hope Al Sharpton and whoever has been leading the Charles Roland Martin, any of those coons, hopefully coon is not a Black word. Is it permissible? That they get run out of town. You can't continue to get your reparations behind the scene just because you want to peddle misinformation, because we as a people are not challenging them as a whole. We have to make sure that our young people are equipped, are educated, are armed with the knowledge, which is why reparations must be the first and only thing to really drill with your children. They need to understand what reparations is really about, the process of it is. So nationwide, we need families, we need people to identify the land nationwide, because this is the land ultimately that we're going to get once reparations come down. Now, again, we're focusing on the state of California, but again, reparations is a nationwide issue. So come September 10th, when you watch the debate, we will have a series of radio shows to really focus on the policy building issues, to break down each and every policy from the Republicans to the Democrats. And then by the September 10th rolls around, which will be 1 out of 3 debates before the November elections, that you will be well informed on what they are saying. And know that if they are saying something that doesn't ring true, that you can recognize it right away. But at the end of the day, the presidential seat really doesn't matter. The reparations begin at home in our backyard. Collective bringing, building, and supporting. We can get our banks now, we can pool together. This week, I believe the National Black Business Conference is also happening in Atlanta, at the Hilton Hotel in Atlanta. And what behooves me is that these Black businesses that come together every year for almost 124 years, starting on the backs of the NAACP, National Action Network. This is a very reputable conference. But what bothers me is that they're gathering up in a European hotel. So you mean to tell me that all these Black businesses cannot come together to pool their money to buy a Black-owned hotel to have this event? So we got a peep game, family. Not everything that says Black is really representing us, because those Black dollars should have recycled in a Black hotel, but it's going right into the Europeans' pocket. Prominent businesses that are coming, almost $270 a night for these hotels. It's insane. So they're going to make buku dollars, right? So behind the scenes, let's start building reparations. Please share the petition. Start working together to really engage. Outreach is very important. Teach your children everything concerning reparations, why it is, and why they have to be on the front line of the table to have closure. And so with that being said, thank you for having me on. I look forward to seeing you again. Peace and Black Power, y'all.